So yeah, I had been trying to tell Americans about how screwed up Canada was for years. I even went to the United States, but I think my mistake in going to the United States was not going to like the deep south because I went to the northern states. I still kind of was afraid of going to the deep south because the Texas and all those states in the South, they're so different from Canada. And it's kind of like, they have a saying, right? It's like the devil you know or the devil you don't know, right? And I know, obviously Canada well, unfortunately. And I just went to the northern states when I went to the states, and the northern states are still kind of like, they drank the Kool-Aid. The northern states of America kind of like drank some of that Canadian Kool-Aid. So that's the issue. But I was trying to tell Americans for years that how corrupt and crazy Canada is and all of the sociopaths and the nut jobs in Canada. I tried to tell the United States. And I mean, should I have like switched up should I done like a southern accent? I'm really bad at doing accents. I wish I could like speak like a perfect American, but I can't. But I'd probably be like, um, I'm from Canada. No, those, those Canadians, eh? No, I already screwed up. I really screwed up the southern accent. Um, but I can do an Indian. Okay, so there was anyways, this guy called me the other day, right? And he's like, "Hello, hello there. Good morning. Are you over 65?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess if you believe that. Sure." And he's like, "Oh, if you're over 65, we have a promotion just for seniors. We have a special promotion for seniors over 65." I'm like, "Okay, tell me more." Then he starts like going into like this, "Oh, it's free, but only if you pay for this, and then it's free." I'm like, "Okay." Then I asked him point blank. I asked him just honestly. I said, "Is this one of those scams?" He's like, "No, this is not a scam. How dare you accuse this of being a scam? This is a reputable business, okay?" And he started yelling at me on the phone. I was like, "Dude, relax, okay? I'm just lonely and I don't have anyone to talk to. So when Indian scammers call me, at least I have someone to talk to." Jesus Christ, calm down. Maybe I wasn't like panicky enough when I went to the United States. Like maybe I should have gone to Texas and be like, "The Canadians, they're a bunch of drag queens and they do this and they do that and they do that." Right? But instead, like I went to like the northern states and I'm like, "Hey, so Canada's fucked up, right?" And they're all like chill over in the northern states. I think the northern states, they were all high. I mean, I know like New York, they're like high on whatever the heck New York people do. The New York people are crazy. The New Yorkers, either they're like super better than you and like you can't even afford to be in their neighborhood, or like they're gonna rob you. Like there's like I didn't find like the middle class New Yorkers. I didn't find middle class New Yorkers. Like Canada has a large middle class, or at least it used to have a large middle class. But in New Yorkers, I only found like super rich New Yorkers, which yeah, and then I found like super poor New Yorkers, which are like I don't know what's scarier. So Hello, welcome to the live stream. Welcome, Rob. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for leaving a comment, Rob. Um, oh, I just got your name. I just got that is a clever name. That is a hilarious name, Rob. You are right. Trump does rock. I do like Trump. I do like Trump. I like him for how honest he is. He'll say anything. Like literally Trump will say anything. Remember when he started saying that stuff about Native Indians? Remember? He was mocked that Native Indian reporter or something. I think that's when the Native Indians of Canada began to like start their whole uh campaign against the United States. They have their own trail of tears. I think there was like a reverse trail of tears. Because remember the Native Indians had that whole trail of tears stuff. And I think they were like determined to try to make Americans cry. Like the native peoples of Canada, they want to see as many Americans crying as possible. I like ketchup. And I'll tell you something. I have this thing. I like to put ketchup on like macaroni. So, like honestly, if I go to the store and there's no more ketchup, I'll cry. I'll just be like in the aisle, like in the ketchup section, and all there's left is like there's mustard and relish and mayonnaise. No, not mayonnaise. I don't think they keep mayonnaise in the mustard and relish section, but and then I'll just be like, "Oh, ketchup sold out." And I'll just tear up. Like you'll just see tears going down my It'd probably be a good commercial for ketchup. Yeah, I should totally see. I went to marketing college and I could totally do some really funny commercials for like ketchup. Just imagine like someone starts crying in the aisle. I don't think I've ever seen a commercial where like someone goes to the store looking for a product and it's not in stock. It's like sold out. And then the person just starts weeping and crying and okay, maybe that wouldn't be like a great funny commercial, but like if you have like a different kind of sense of humor, like Mad TV, Saturday Night Live's kind of sense of humor, it might be funny. But yeah, hey, who would have guessed that Canada would be like a not safe place with all the drag queens, Native Indian hunters, Muslim extremists, people burning the American flag. We're gonna go visit those nice Canadians. We hear on the Canadian news that those Canadians are so nice. Let's see how nice those Canadians are. Oh honey, the Canadians are burning the American flag again. What do you think that means? But yeah, I've seen some pretty like patriotic Canadians that like hate Americans. It's kind of scary, you know? Like there are cities in Canada where I swear to God, there are cities in Canada where if you walk around with an American flag, like well, I don't know what they'll do, but they definitely won't be happy. They'll probably write you like a nasty letter. Dear American, I'm writing you today to let you know that we saw your American flag. We kindly ask you to leave Canada because Canada is a proud nation where we only support the Canadian flag and you were trying to wave the American flag. Well, I mean, hello existence, welcome existence. It's nice. Welcome. So someone came in with a live stream name existence. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, you said that you love both Canada and the United States. That's great. That is great. Um, do you love them in the sense that you want them to be together? Like literally, the United States like consumes Canada and makes Canada the 51st state? Do you love them in that kind of way? Do you love them in a way that like to, like do you want Canada and the United States to become one, you know? You know, like those twin dragons? You remember that twin dragon movie where there was like two twin dragons and together when they put the rings together they became like one powerful dragon? So basically, do you want like Americans to like come to Canada and like take over the Canadians and then like, is that what you want? Because if that's what you want, if you want Canada and the United States to be like the same country and make Canada the 51st state, that's what was pissing off a lot of Canadians, you know? Canada, I mean, Canada's already kind of been taken over by China, to be honest. Like, I did even put ninjas. Oh man, I forgot ninjas. Damn it. I always forget something crucial. Every time I make a meme, I always forget something really important. And in this meme, I forgot the ninjas, the Chinese ninjas. There's Chinese ninjas. There's communist Chinese people all over Canada. One time there was a horrible experience. I was at a Chinese food restaurant and I went in and I normally get like 4 packets of soy sauce and they could only give me two because they were rationing soy sauce. And I'm like, you're rationing soy sauce? I'm like, I have like 2 orders of this noodles and I can't use only 2 packets. That's like 1 packet per noodle bowl. I need 2 packets per noodle bowl. And they said, no, they're rationing. They don't have enough. And then I started crying. Yeah, I guess I do cry a lot when I don't get certain items, but I'm not like that crazy woman. You remember that crazy woman from that video, that YouTube video where she something at McDonald's and then she couldn't get her McShake or something and then she started to shake the whole restaurant? No, I'm not like I'm not crazy like that. I actually I don't like for me, I just like the condiments. Because you know what? I'll tell you the truth. If you want to eat, if you want to lose weight, here's the truth to lose weight. Because I lost a lot of weight. Well, not that much. I lost like three. I was already thin to begin with, but I lost a lot more weight. And here's how you do it. So you remember how I said that I loved ketchup? Well, one time I went like 3 months, and all I ate was ketchup. And I was like, hey, I know how I can lose weight. See this whole meal? You see this big plate of food and then this bottle of ketchup? I love ketchup so much. I'm just going to have the ketchup and not have this big plate of food. You'll lose a lot of weight like that. You just see me like I'm about to pass out. I'm at the store, I'm at work, I'm at the bookstore I work at. I'm about to pass out. And then you just see me like just take some ketchup and then I'm good for another 4 hours. I'm like, oh, I can function. Hello, are you looking for the books on eating disorders? Right this way. I know exactly where the books on eating disorders are. Follow me, sir. I will bring you to the whole section of books of eating disorders. I swear, I one time I brought, okay, I got fast food and I was brought it for my workplace lunch, my lunch at the workplace. And I work at a bookstore. And I went into the bookstore and I swear, one of the books, I swear to God, well, actually, if the book was called I Swear to God, that might be an interesting title. But no, one of the books in the bookstore, and I had fast food. This was before I was doing the whole dieting stuff. I had fast food, and I was at the bookstore, right? Because I was about to go to my break, do my lunch break, and there was a book that said, "Are you sure you want to eat that? Are you sure you want to eat that?" And I'm holding like this bag of fast food, and I almost took the book and like got pissed off. Like, who are you judging me? You're a book on a shelf judging me. Okay, I could just like not recommend you than the other books, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and recommend the Nazi Germany books from now on, and the Russian Stalin books, and I'm gonna recommend those books. I'm not gonna recommend the books from the, from the other sections. No, I recommend all the books. In fact, actually, we have our bookstore had one of the biggest history sections. And the history section, I don't know what it is, but people are obsessed. Like they literally are obsessed with World War II. Germany, like there's all of these World War II Germany movies, there's all these World War II Germany books, there's all these novels about Nazi Germany and secret Germany and hidden Germany and Hitler and all that stuff. Like there's so much stuff of that. Like it's all over the I remember when I was growing up, you couldn't turn on the television without seeing at least one reference to Nazi Germany. Either the History Channel was doing a special on Nazi Germany, or or there was like some kind of TV movie going on, or a Hollywood movie, or my grandparents were talking. There was always a reference to Nazi Germany. I remember growing up, like you couldn't walk down the street without hearing a war veteran start talking about Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany was it was as if they were trying to promote Nazi Germany, you know? Like it's like when they tell people don't smoke, like but then they make it look really cool. Like they're like don't smoke, don't be cool. And then it's like all these people coming at you telling you don't be a Nazi, don't be a Nazi German, right? And then you have like half of Canada, they're all contrarians. Half of Canada, they're like, you tell Canadians don't do something, they want to do the opposite. Like it's literally in the name Canada. Can. Canada. It's literally in the name Canada. So if you try to tell Canadians they can't do something, don't smoke, don't drink, don't be a Nazi, don't be a Nazi German. Like, it's got like a reverse psychology effect on Canadians. Don't hack into the American federal. Don't make fun of Americans. Don't admit that Canada had a big role to play in 9/11. No, but seriously, I watched a documentary on 9/11, and it said that those Muslim extremists were trained in Canada. It said that they learned how to fly in Canada. I mean, that's just the truth. That's a fact. I mean, I saw the documentary, and I mean, I guess the documentary. I mean, just because it's a documentary doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. But I mean, when you're growing up and you watch things when you're growing up, TV influences you more. Or maybe just me. Maybe I just kind of was slow. I think I always was a bit slow. But I used to watch documentaries when I was growing up, and like 95% of me believed the documentary. Especially the BBC, like those British people. They sound so like intelligent. They're like, oh, now we're gonna talk about planet Saturn and the rings of planet Saturn and the special Cassini probe, the that's orbiting planet Saturn is going to take pictures of the satellite. Like the British people, they sound like they know what they're talking about, you know? The Australians, the Australians from Australia, they sound like they know what they're talking about when it comes to snakes and stuff. Like, oh yeah, that's crikey, that's a big one there. That's a snake, like, you know. But like I don't know if I want to go and ask the Australians about like I don't know, anything else like fashion or astronomy or economics or civil being how to be civilized. Like I'm not gonna go ask the Australians or even for directions. I don't even think I would be feel safe enough to just ask Australians, hey, for directions. Like how the hell do I get back to Canada? But yeah, I've always loved American culture. I really do. And I just wanted to say that obviously Canada's not perfect. The United States is not perfect. Australia is definitely not perfect. Sorry, I should have just said Australia is not perfect. China's China's great. I love China. China is wonderful. Everyone in China is perfect.